Ever since the introduction of AI photo editing innovations, I've been keen to see how well they work with photos from classic old lenses that often need a touch-up or reviving, and don't we all? So when the makers of Luminar Neo asked me to try their AI-driven software, I jumped at the chance. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use the software to restore old photos, and not just restore the photos, but to colorize them and also transform them with different effects. I'm extremely excited by this AI feature, and so am my family. We've been having a lot of fun restoring family photos dating back over 150 years. The results can be amazing. This is one of the earliest family photos I have, from the 1860s. It's a carte de visite, a little larger than a business card. Here's the AI restoration, transforming a black and white image into color and removing the blemishes in the original. These restorations are only one part of Luminar Neo. There are a lot of other features that can help you enhance photos, taken with old and new lenses on digital cameras. I've really enjoyed making this YouTube, and I hope you enjoy watching it as well. I'm not being paid to post this video, by the way. To demonstrate how easy it is to restore old photos on my PC, there's also a mobile phone app if you prefer. I'll start with this one. I snapped it from an album with my iPhone. These are my wife's Italian-born relations, generations ago. As you can see, the image is not in good condition. After importing the image into Luminar Neo, you need to open Catalog and then drag the file into this restoration box. Then you have three options: a full restoration, a color restoration, or a scratches restoration. If you click the scratches button, the software repairs the scratches, but leaves the photo in black and white. The processing takes around 25 seconds for this photo. The color option will colorize the photo but leave the scratches, like this. The full option will colorize the photo and also deal with the scratches. I think the result is wonderful. The photo could have been taken by a modern camera on the set of a contemporary Bonnie and Clyde movie. If you zoom in, the results are not perfect, but then neither is the original print, and it's good enough for this YouTube-sized screen or a reasonably large new print. A better original photo will give you a better end result, as you can see here. An interesting and creative feature of the AI software is if you try the color restoration on the same photo more than once in a row, it'll produce different results and colors. So if you don't like the first one, you can try again. This is one of my favorite black and white photos of my ancestors, my grandfather and his sister in Dublin, early in the 1900s. This transformation is, in my opinion, sublime. But it doesn't have to look like this. If you try running the restoration again and again, you get a variety of different results. Personally, I prefer the first image, where the background has been turned white. Now let's have some fun and restore some of the most famous and earliest photos ever taken. This is generally considered to be the first self-portrait photo, taken by Robert Cornelius in the USA in 1839. And here's the restored photo. Very impressive, eh? He's looking pretty good for somebody who's over 180 years old. I could easily imagine meeting somebody like this today on the street with that fashionable stubble. Only his clothes really give him away as a bloke from a completely different time. And then this is reckoned to be the first photo taken of a human being, the guy having his shoes polished, taken by Louis Daguerre in 1838, capturing a scene in Paris. The restored image has colorized up well, rather like a tinted photo from later in the 19th century. This blurry image is reputed to be the first ever photo taken, around 1826 or 1827. I wonder whether the AI software might be confused or even defeated by the blurriness. Well, it certainly wasn't defeated. In its first few attempts, it made an interesting interpretation, adding modern dress figures into the frame. After that, in the next few restorations, it ditched the figures to the right and replaced them with a chimney, a much more realistic interpretation of the scene. I thought this one was probably the best. After some more runs, the software brought back a figure to the right with mysterious hands and dropped the two people on the roof. It's a fun series of attempts. Looking at these different restorations, it begs the question, how accurate is the AI at interpreting what the scene would have looked like in reality? In terms of colors, you can't expect the software to time travel and perform miracles, but it is an interesting thing to consider. Well, I can give you some feedback on this because I have another portrait of one of my ancestors that's especially useful, because when the photo was first printed in Dublin in the late 1860s, the photo studio itself made an attempt at colorizing the photo based on the actual colors in the scene. So now we can see how close the Luminar Neo's AI gets to the studio's work. The original painted work isn't that very good, to be honest, but you can see the dress was a light bluish color with a darker blue shawl. And here are 4 different interpretations from Luminar Neo, including one with a rather lovely light blue dress. This is pretty impressive. Indeed, the modern colorized version is considerably better rendered than the hand-painted version. Now, once you've restored each photo, you can further process it, if you want to, using Luminar Neo's presets or your own edits. If you select presets, the software will suggest the appropriate type of filter it thinks best suits the photo. So for this portrait, it's chosen the close-ups collection. The different filters in each collection cover a variety of visual styles, some more subtle than others, and include a black and white conversion back to the past. There are other presets to try if you want, with different styles under each type. I'm personally not a big user of presets, preferring to edit each image separately, but I know a lot of people do like their presets. And there's a Luminar marketplace online where you can purchase more tools created by users of the software. Turning to edits, Luminar Neo has an extensive range of conventional and AI-driven photo editing options. I'll scroll through some of these options. You can also apply masks to support editing. As you can see, there are plenty of different edits to play with. One AI-driven edit I particularly enjoy using is the sky edit, especially where there is a grey or uniform sky in the background. Take this photo we restored earlier. There are different types of sky to try, and I've generally been able to find one that complements the scene very well. And once you've chosen your sky, there are a number of ways to further edit the results. These filters and edits, of course, can also be applied to good effect on digital photos taken with old and new lenses, or even photos taken with your phone, as you can buy the software for phones as well as computers. I've only really scratched the surface of all the edits possible with the software, but suffice it to say that I've found that it's especially useful for old lenses that lack strong colors, contrasts, or sharpness, and where AI can produce a radically different look to my compositions. For example, the Nair Optic Görlitz Arrestogen 29 f2.8 is one of my favorite old wider angle lenses. I just love the feel of using this lens. But not even fans like me can claim the lens as a top performer optically on digital cameras compared to modern lenses. This is how I process one photo from the lens. I think the change in the sky really enhances the composition and the way the lens renders, and importantly, still looks quite natural. And another example, taken with a Siri anamorphic lens on a rainy day in Sheer with a dull grey sky. The software transformed the dull grey sky to give the photo a very dramatic look. I've been very happy with these kinds of transformations. Finally, I thought you might be amused to see a couple of black and white passport-sized photos of yours truly from the last century. The restoration on the right is instructive, as the software has successfully edited out the university stamp in the top and the base of the photo. And after you've seen these images, if you're interested in finding out more about the software, I've included an affiliate link in the description below. If you use this link to buy the software, you'll be supporting my channel. Anyway, many thanks for watching. Any comments, subscriptions, or likes would be most welcome. And until the next time, all the best.